This is Dr. Sunil Mahagaonkar, Faculty of Mechanical Engineering Department, Government Polytechnic, Mumbai. I welcome you all for my module number 11. So in this session, again we will go for some problems based on the force analysis. That is part 1. In this module, we are going to study the problems related to the torsional shear stress, bending stress separately as well as combined. So we will go for the session. So to begin with, the learning outcomes are same as that are discussed in the earlier problem related sessions. It is identification of numericals, rating given data, analysis of the given data. It is necessary. And if some data are missing, we have to assume the suitable data. And then identifying what is asked. And based on this, we have to go for think about the right procedure and adopt a right procedure for this to get a right solution. So once again, just we will go for the general flow process for the solution. Identification of the problem is there, then the given data, identifying what is asked, data analysis, the two parts. The right part is the data related to the strength or factor of safety. Again, when the yield strength and ultimate strength are given for the material and factor of safety if it is given, so then you find out the allowable shear stress and allowable torsional shear stress by using maximum shear stress theory or the distortion energy theory as per the problem. And if these things are not given, then they will give the permissible or allowable shear stress that you can use it directly. And the data is related, those things you have to take it, and then if some data are missing, that also you have to assume it and try to adopt the right procedure to get a right solution. So now just we will go for the revision of what we did in the torsional shear stress. This element is subjected, a shaft is subjected to the torsional shear stress. So this angle is the phi, that is the shear strain, and this theta is this angle, this is the theta angle of twist. If r is the radius and l is the length, so mt is the moment due to the torque. So then the shear stress along this section, it will be like this. So here the torsional shear stress, which is taking here, it is perpendicular to this plane. So along this plane the shear stress will be there, and based on that we can get what is the torsional shear stress, which is equal to moment due to the torque into the c is the distance of the fiber from the neutral axis divided with the j, polar momentum of inertia. So if d is the diameter, then it will be 16 mt upon pi d cube is the maximum shear stress, and minimum will be 0 when r is equal to 0. So now we will go for the problem. A shaft is transmitting 100 kilowatts at 160 rpm. That means in this problem the power is given 100 kilowatts and rpm is 160. Find a suitable diameter for the shaft if the maximum torque transmitted exceeds the mean by 25%. Take the maximum allowable shear stress as 70 megapascal. So these are the shear stress produced in that. So this tau maximum is equal to 16 mt upon pi d cube, where d is the diameter. The given data is P is equal to 100 kilowatts. We have to take it equal to 10 raised to 3. Kilo means 10 raised to 3. And shear stress is equal to 70 into MP megapascal. So 1 megapascal is equal to 1 Newton per mm square. So 70 MPa is nothing but 70 Newton per mm square, and RPM N is equal to 160. So here the mean torque it is given as the Newton meter, and it is nothing but the rated torque. Mean torque is usually it is rated torque. Mean torque is equal to 1.25 times. So the design torque is 1.25 times the mean torque. That is the maximum transmitted torque he has given, that is MT maximum is equal to 1.25 times the mean torque. So taking that value, we can get what is MT mean. So MT mean is nothing but usually we are knowing the equation power is equal to 2 pi nt upon 60, where MT is nothing but the MT mean or the average torque. So using that value, we can find what is the MT mean. So torsional shear stress by C is equal to MT maximum upon J. So here, instead of taking the rated torque, so since he has given the maximum torque, that I have to take it. 25% more than that means 1.25 times, that is MT. So that value I have to take it, and J is equal to pi d 4 by 64. So taking that value, we get what is D. Okay. So we are finding the diameter D. So by using this formula, we can find the diameter. So as I said, power P is equal to 100 into 10 raised to 3, which is equal to 2 pi n into the torque divided by 60. So here whatever we are getting, this is called a rated torque or mean torque. So this we have to calculate first, and then after calculating this one, so everything, this is in Newton meter. You will get in Newton meter because you are getting P is in watts. Newton meter per second. So that's why you have to convert it in millimeters. So that's why you will get multiplied by 10 raised to 3. And once you get the mean torque, you can just find out what is the maximum torque by multiplying by 1.25 times the mean torque, and substituting these values over here in this equation 1, we can get D is equal to the diameter of the shaft is equal to 82 millimeter. So this problem, it is related to the simple, that is a shaft subjected to the only torsional shear stress. So now we will go for the other problem. A steel shaft 35 mm in diameter and 1.25 millimeter long, held rigidly at one end, has a hand wheel of 500 mm in diameter keyed to the other end. The modulus of rigidity of the steel is 80 gigapascal. So what is the load applied to tangent to the rim of the wheel to produce a torsional shear stress of 60 MPa? And the second question is how many degrees, that is he has asked the angle of twist for the applied load. So try to get this, think about the solutions. For this we can draw the diagram. So what he has given, it is a shaft which is subjected, it is fixed over here, and this is the wheel. Okay, so to this wheel we are applying a torque which is equal to T, that is the torque, and this is the initial AB fiber, and this is the angle of twist, and this is the angle of this is the shear strain, tan phi, which is approximately equal to phi, opposite by hypotenuse, opposite by base. If you do it, so then you can calculate what is shear strain. So this is nothing but the angle of twist. It is given here. So this is the side view of this, the wheel, and this tangential load is there. The data you can write down here. Shaft diameter D is equal to 35 mm. Length of the shaft is 1.2 meters long, and the modulus of rigidity G is equal to 80 gigapascal, which is equal to 80 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per mm square. First you convert it in megapascal, and 1 megapascal is equal to 1 Newton per mm square, and using that you can find this 80 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per mm square. Then hand wheel diameter is D, which is equal to 500 millimeter. Torsional shear stress induced at tau is equal to 60 MPa, which is equal to 60 Newton per mm square. And to calculate the tangential load is asked to find what is Ft. This we have to find out. So once this is nothing but Ft into R, that is nothing but torque. So we have to find out what is torque. Once you know Ft, you know the torque, then you can find what is the tangential load. Once if I know what is torque, then you can find the angle of twist in theta in degrees. A tangential load Ft applied torque Mt is equal to Ft into, if D is the diameter here, so D by 2 if you do it, so that is equal to you can get what is the tangential load, it is Ft. So we know that in this problem, that is tau by C is equal to Mt upon J, where J is equal to pi d4 by 32. It is twice of I is equal to pi d4 by 64. So now C is the distance of the fiber from the neutral axis, the maximum it will be D upon 2. Substituting this one, we can find that is Mt is equal to this, that is pi into tau into dq upon 16. So using this value you can find the torque. Once you know the torque, you can find what is tangential load, that is Ft is equal to 2 into Mt upon D. So using this we can find the tangential load applied at the end of the wheel. And after this we can find the angle of twist, that is in this problem. See here, this is Ft we have found. So D by 2 is this, D is the diameter, D by 2 is this radius. So using that we can find what is the angle of twist is tau upon C is equal to Mt upon J, which is equal to one more, that is the modulus of rigidity G into theta upon L. So using this tau by C into this, or you can use this value. So anyone, if you parameters this, use it and find out what is theta. Actually in this problem, theta it is in radians. So you can get in radians and then you can convert it into degrees. So whatever theta is equal to that is equal to Mt upon J into L upon Z, where L is the length of the shaft. So taking that, is the value is there 32 mm, and then Mt torque, which you have found already, that value I have to put it, and divided by pi d raised to 4, that is 35 is the diameter raised to 4, 35 raised to 4 if you do it. So this much of radians you will get it, and you know that pi is equal to 180 degrees equal to pi. Using that thing we can get what is the theta, it is in degrees. So usually the students will do a mistake here. Even in the some of the reference books also we are finding this mistakes in their solution. that is theta, it is like this. We can find the angle of twist in degrees, because we are already knowing what is pi. 1 pi is nothing but equal to 1 degrees. Using that value we can find in degrees. So as I am saying, many of the textbooks, in the reference books also some mistakes are there, because they are just using radians value as a degrees. Actually this whatever you will get, it is in radians, and that we have to convert it into degrees. So usually the limitation will be there. The maximum limit will be 5 degrees we are taking for the designing purpose. So let us will go for the another problem. The shaft of an overhang crank subjected to a force P of 1 kilonewton as shown in figure. This is the shaft, and there is an overhang crank. This the end force P is applied at this point. The shaft is made up of plain carbon steel 45C8, and the tensile yield strength is 380 Newton per mm square. The factor of safety is to determine the diameter of the shaft using the maximum shear stress theory. So first you try to understand with the figure. This is the shaft, and here this is the crank, and the force applied P is perpendicular to this screen here, and that distance is 500 Newton mm, and that means if you 500 millimeter is the distance of the force which is there, and that means the torque is nothing but which is equal to force P into 500. And now one more distance he has given, that is 250 millimeter. So if this force applied at this end, and if this is not moving, in that case if the load is more at that point, some point of time you are going to get bending stress will be developed along this sections. So taking that the maximum bending moment, it will be 250 millimeters. So one more stress you are going to get at XX. One stress is already it is there, that is the torsional shear stress. It is produced due to the force P into the distance 500, and the other one is the bending stress produced at the section XX. It is due to the load P, and again the distance is 250. So here you just write down the given data. P is equal to 1 kilonewton, so that's why it is 1 into 10 raised to 3 newtons. Plain carbon steel 45C8, that is composition he has given, and then the tensile strength of this material is 380 Newton per mm square. So in this problem about the section XX, there are two stresses that are induced here. One is the torsional shear stress. It is due to the force P and the distance 500 millimeter from the center line on the shaft. And the other one is the bending stress due to the same load P, assuming that this link is a rigid link. So in that case, it is tries to go in the bend in this perpendicular to the screen. So in that case, it will be the force P into the distance to 50 millimeter. It is the bending stress that is induced along the section XX. The force P will induce two types of stresses. One is the torsional shear stress in the shaft, and the second one is the bending stress at the section XX as shown. So first step is to find the permissible stress as per the maximum shear stress theory. So in this he has given the yield strength is 380 Newton per mm square and factor of safety 2. So the allowable shear stress allowable torsional shear stress is equal to SYT 0.5 of SYT upon factor of safety. So by doing that, we can this is the tensile stress. Allowable tensile stress is SYT upon factor of safety 190 Newton per mm square, and the other one is the allowable torsional shear stress. It is tau s, which is equal to 50% of SYT upon factor of safety, which comes to be 95 Newton per mm square. So since the crankshaft is subjected to a combined loading of torsional as well as bending, it should be designed, or the design should be based on principal stress equation. So here comes the application of the principal stress equations, because it is a combined loading. So hence the principal stress equation for such combined loading is as follows. So you can take the sigma maximum, which is equal to sigma 1 upon 2 plus under root sigma 1 upon 2 square plus tau xy square. Here sigma 1 is nothing but the sum of the normal stress, which are the either axial load plus or minus bending stress, and tau xy is the shear stress. So sigma minimum is here minus, and tau maximum is equal to under root sigma 1 upon 2 square plus tau xy square. So here where sigma 1 is equal to sigma t plus or minus sigma b, where sigma t is the axial load, tensile axial load. So there is no axial load to this, hence this component will be 0 here. Only the component which is left is sigma b, which is nothing but plus or minus mb into c upon I. If it is bending in the downward, in this perpendicular to the screen, in that case this will be having positive here, that is tensile, and this is negative. So this is a compressive stress produced at this point, and whereas tensile stress produced at this point, and here at this fiber the compressive stresses will be there. So sigma b total, which is equal to sigma 1, which is plus or minus 32 mb upon pi d cube, and tau xy is equal to 16 mt upon pi d cube. You try to substitute these values in this equation. So when you substitute those values, so finally you will get sigma maximum is equal to 16 pi d cube mb plus under root mb square plus mt square, and the other one is sigma minimum is this one. So whether you consider plus or minus, the maximum will be, it may be a tensile and this is in compressive. So any one we can take it here, and this tau maximum is equal to sigma under root of sigma 1 by 2 plus tau xy square, which is equal to, if I take 16 pi d cube common, so it will be under root mb square plus mt square. So as I said, mb you can find, mt you can find with this. So substituting those values here, we can find what is the diameter. So here this mb is equal to p into 250. This 250 is this distance, and this is the bending moment, and this is the moment due to the torque. This is p into 500. It is Newton mm. Whatever the distance you will units you will get it, it is in Newton millimeter, and those things you have to substitute here. And sigma maximum is equal to, you are knowing that it is SYT upon factor of safety, which is equal to 16 by pi d cube, and then you just substitute, and the diameter you can find out. So this is 27.8. It is based on tensile stress. It is based on maximum principal stress. Okay. The other one is the maximum shear stress. You can find it or found it by substituting what is tau maximum, which is 95, which is equal to, it is 0.5 of SYT upon factor of safety, and using this equation you can find the diameter, and this diameter is equal to 32. It is based on shear stress. So when you consider these two things, so here this will be, the diameter will be maximum under shear. So hence we have to consider the shear failure instead of tensile failure. So the diameter of the crankshaft at the section XX, considering both shear and the bending, it will be equal to 32 millimeter. So the next problem, that is example 5. Again it is of overhang crank, same problem. So the force P is acting at the crank pin is equal to 1 kilonewton. So try to understand, this is a crank pin and the force is applied at this point P. It is perpendicular to the screen, and that is equal to how much it is, 1 kilonewton, that means 10⁻³ newtons. So the crank is made up of a steel of 38. Yield strength he has given and factor of safety is given. From this what you can calculate the allowable shear stress and allowable tensile stress. Using the maximum shear stress theory, again you try to find out the diameter at the section XX. So in the last problem the figure is different, here the figure is different. Only one must know how to calculate what are the distances we have to take it for tensile or shear. So first you write down the given data. P is equal to 1 into 10⁻³ newtons. The plain carbon steel, yield strength which is equal to 400 Newton per mm square. Factor of safety is 2. To find the diameter of the shaft which is equal to D. So that let D be the diameter of the shaft. The force P will be induced with two types of stresses. One is torsional shear stress and the other one is bending shear stress at XX. So now in this problem, if you consider this whole link, it is a rigid link. Assuming that it is not rotating, in that case what happens when the load is applied at this point? So it will try to bend in this section. You are going to get a bending stress will be produced, and that is equal to P into the distance. So P is the load and the distance is equal to 50 from here, and plus thickness, it is 25, 75 plus 100. That means 175 is the distance of the P which is acting. So that causes a bending stresses at XX. And the same thing, that is here the load is applied P, and if it is not if it is free to rotate, in that case you are going to get a rotary motion. In that it will produce a torsional shear stress about this section. So at this case it will be, so the radial, if P is this one, the radial distance, that is movement due to the torque, can be calculated by the force P into the distance 500, P into 500. So taking that you can calculate moment due to torque. So once you get moment due to the torque, moment due to the bending, so these two stresses are acting, hence they should be checked for with the principal stress equation. So find the principal stress as per the maximum shear stress theory. The allowable tensile stress sigma T is equal to yield strength upon factor of safety, it is 400 divided by 2, that means 200 Newton per mm square. It is the tensile stress. And torsional shear stress can be calculated by using maximum shear stress theory. It is 50% of the yield strength divided by factor of safety. It is 0.5 into SYT upon factor of safety, that you will get around 100 Newton per mm square. And these stresses, this is the initial step, and the second step is to find. So once again, this crankshaft is subjected to the combined loading. So what are the loadings? One is the bending stress at XX, and the other one is the torsional shear stress. So that's why here the two stresses are acting in a member. So hence we have to go for considering the principal stress equation. Again, you try to write down the equations. So make a habit of writing these equations oftenly, because these are the things, these are the basic equations we are using. It is not for the two-dimensional, it is only for the single dimension. That is only the thing is that the two forces that are acting, one is the sigma 1, the other one is the tau xy, that is the shear stress. So sigma maximum we can calculate. Similarly, sigma minimum, it is given by this, whereas sigma 1 is nothing but the normal stress So in this problem also you can calculate the sigma maximum and sigma minimum and tau maximum, where sigma 1 here, it is the normal stress with an axial load plus bending stress. So as there is no axial load, that will be 0 here. So sigma 1 is equal to sigma t plus or minus bending stress. In this problem, sigma t is 0 and sigma b is equal to mb into c upon I, where mb is the bending moment, which is given by p into the distance. So it is distance is 50 plus 25, 75 plus 100, that is 175. And where d is the diameter, if d is the diameter of the shaft, so it is pi d 4 by 64, and c is equal to d upon 2. So using these values, we can find what is the bending stress and tau xy. So once you get this equation, you just substitute here. So after substituting, you will get this the final equation. So 16 upon pi d cube is already covered in the theory, and again when you are writing a problem, so try to write down this theory part also, so that it will be remembered for a much longer time. So 16 divided by pi d cube into bracket mb plus under root mb square plus mt square, and similarly sigma minimum is this. So only the thing is that here it is a compressive and this is a tensile in nature. So any one you can take it out of these two, and maximum shear stress it can be calculated by using the addition of this. You will get 16 upon pi d cube under root mb square plus mt square. So here the P, the applied load P is equal to, it is 1 kilonewton, that is 10 raised to 3 newtons. So MB is equal to P into 175, that is 17.5 mm, that means 175 millimeter. So into 10 raised to 3. Or else you can write 17.5 into 10 raised to 4. So MT is equal to P into 500, that is 50 into 10 raised to 4 Newton millimeter. So this is the torque, and this is nothing but the bending moment. So using these values over here, we can and sigma maximum, that is the tensile. We have to consider tensile stress, and considering tensile stress, and substituting all these values, here we can find the diameter which is equal to 26.18. So this is based on tensile stress. Similarly, we have to find out the diameter based on shear stress. So that can be calculated by using this tau maximum is equal to 16 upon pi d cube under root mb square plus mt square. And once you put these values here and try this diameter d, you will get on 29.9 mm. That means it is equal to 30 millimeter. It is based on the shear stress. So when you compare this two, so the diameter based on shear is more, hence for the design you have to consider the shear failure. Considering the shear failure, the diameter of the shaft, it will be equal to 30 millimeter. So in the end of the session, so in this we have taken some problems, or we have discussed some problems based on an element subjected to bending as well as torsional shear stress. So since the element is subjected to the combined loading of bending and torsional, hence, so such an element you should use maximum principal stress equation, and using the principal stress equation we can find the dimensions. So such problems in the first part of this force analysis problems we have solved, and in the coming session, so we will solve some other problems based on the maximum this combined loading as well as some eccentric loading. Thank you.